Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer, and today we are going to be doing the Christian Dior Grand Bal quint. So I've been going through all of the Christian Dior quints that I picked up. I picked up 6. I do have 2 more on their way, and I promised that I would go through and do a look with each one of them. So I'm working my way through them, interspersed with other videos. And in honor of the fact that my Pat McGrath Rose Decadence is still not here because shipping issues, we're gonna use the Pat McGrath Naked Rose OpuLUST Glaze Lip Gloss with the look when we are done. So let me swatch this for you really quickly. Obviously, I've done a number of videos with all of the quints, so you guys have seen this one before. I will link above the one that swatched all of them. And when I talk about the Grand Bal, I said this is not one of my favorites because in all honesty, really it's a palette where there's one matte and the rest are kind of toppers. So you can see these are the shades, these are all the gold shades, and then there's the matte brown. And so to do a look with it is a little tricky. I think what we're gonna do is create something with the brown in the crease and the others over it, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Okay, so now you're up close and personal, so then when we do this, you can actually see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go in with that deep brown to start off our look because it is the only matte, and today I wanna do a matte in the crease. It is extremely pigmented. I've been talking to a lot of you on Instagram and in the comments of these videos that I've been doing, and I've received a lot of comments about Christian Dior and the fact that a lot of people stopped using Christian Dior because it wasn't very pigmented and the colors didn't blend and lay well. You can see that is no longer a problem. They are very pigmented. Every one I've used has been very pigmented, and they blend really beautifully and lay really well on the eye. I'm just using a Wayne Goss number 3 to buff this out a little bit. So I really don't think that's an issue. What I would say about these quads is I would decide on the color story that you like. I've done 4 of them. This is the 5th. So I'll have the black bow, which is the most, I think, dramatic probably of all of them. That I'll do soon. And you decide, which ones are your liking in regards to a color story. But I'd say all of them are pigmented. All of them have the same formula as far as I can tell. I don't see any discernible difference between the formula of any of these, and they all have performed. So anybody else out there, and I know the answer to this, having issues with their shipping, or is it just me? No, I've been talking to a number of different content creators and, just people, friends, family. Obviously, if you've been paying attention to the news, you know why that is all occurring. So, there may be a delay for a lot of things coming in the near future. It's probably a good thing in regards to, I think I'm just gonna be buying a lot less in September anyway. I had already made that decision after the incredibly large haul that I did. You guys hopefully saw that video, but I think, I'm okay on products. Okay, so that deep brown is now down on my eyes. Let's go in with this shade. This is more of a shimmer. It's not, there's one in here, and I'll show you in a minute, that's really just a topper. And I am getting a lot of fallout. It's not a shock from that brown, so we'll go in and fix the under eye. later. This is a very, I was just about to say this is a very shiny, shimmery shade. Good, Jen. Alliteration. It is a very shiny shade, and it's very pretty. This one is of the 4 shiny shades that are in here, I'd say this is the one that's like a satin that can be used as more of an opaque color. The others I think are more toppers. I'll show you in the application. This one definitely has more pigment and more opacity than I had originally thought when I was playing with it. So that does make me happy. It's like Charlotte Tilbury has a quad, I forget the name of it, something about pops, like it's the shades that go over the other shades. And it's not like I don't like those, it's just for me, I don't want an entire palette of it. I would prefer something that's gonna have at least one matte in it, and then, you know, definitely something with some shimmer and something with some sparkle, but I don't want it to all be that because it's just, I don't know. I just think it's a little too much. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. So there's this like very creamy white shade, and there's like this taupe shade. This is like the whiter shade. This is the taupe shade. You can see they definitely have shimmer and they have some pigment to them, but they're more toppers. They're not like, you know, a shimmer shade. So I think I'll use this, the whiter one. I think I'll use that in my brow area. That actually is very pretty. I mean, it's very light. You can barely see it. You probably really can't see it on camera, but in person it's very pretty. And then I'm gonna take the golden shade, put that on the center. And then we'll take the taupe, like I said, this is like the topper shade almost, and kind of press it in here. It doesn't have much opacity, but it's very sparkly. I'm gonna go back in with the dark brown shades to re-enhance the crease. I'm not using a lot, just a little. That's why we built it up beforehand underneath. You don't need to go back, and you shouldn't have to go back and build it up too much. Let me clean up the eye area a little bit for you guys. Okay, let me take the brown shade, run it under the eye. Just doing the lower lash line right now. And then just tying that back into the inner corner a little bit with a little more of the brown. Okay, I'm gonna take some espresso liner, Tom Ford. Put this on my upper lash line. Okay, I brought you in really close for a final look of the eyeshadow before I put on mascara. So let me curl my lashes, put on mascara, and then we'll finish it off with some lip gloss. Okay guys, finished look with the mascara. And although this is not one of my favorite of the quints, I will say it actually is very pretty. The brown shade with that gold shade over it, these two shades, the brown shade, this middle shade with this shade here is what I have on most of my eye. It actually is quite beautiful. The gold in there is quite stunning. And I would say putting this shade over it on the eye, this actually has some nice pigment. This is actually a really nice sparkly, like creamy white shade. And this taupe one, again, has a lot of sparkle to it. It's very pretty. It doesn't have a lot of opacity. It's more of a topper, but it does create a pretty look. I mean, altogether, it's actually very nice and very wearable. I think it is something you could make more dramatic for an evening look, or you could use it as a daytime. So actually, it's very nice. It's not my favorite, but I do think it's a pretty quint. Again, guys, I've really been very impressed. The quality's there. They stay on. I wore the denim one for a long day. And I actually thought it looked better, which is, I know, a weird thing, like 4 hours, 5 hours later. The shades kind of like melded together a little bit. Like they didn't shift. I can't really explain it. It's almost like the warmth of my skin made them look better. I don't know what to say, but I actually liked my eye look 4 hours later. I should have taken a picture of it. So far, all the formulas, all the quads, all the quints are really gorgeous. If you're interested in picking up 1, 2, 8 like I did, don't do that. I would really, I honestly could say right now that I would recommend any of them. They are excellent quality. The formula is beautiful. You just have to pick the color story that you like. I also had some questions about the quints that have like the design on them. They still have that, and there's a couple of ones on the site that do have little intricate designs. I've also been told that the ones for the holidays will have those designs, although, who knows? Those are sneak peeks. But I will show you some pictures of the ones that have the designs on it above so you can see. I don't know what the formula is, because I don't know if this new formula that's in all of these is on those, so I can't speak to that. So I don't know if the ones that have the design on it now are as good as these. So I'm gonna have to pick a few of those up. I will be honest with you, I'm not gonna be picking up too many because I've already picked up so many of these. I will pick up the holiday designs, whatever those are. So when we get to that point, I'm guessing October time frame, maybe early November. Usually they're released relatively early. I'll pick some up so you guys can see whether the formula is the same for the ones that have the designs on it. Okay, so let's do lip gloss. Like I said, in honor of Mama Pat, I'm gonna do the Pat McGrath. It was my order was supposed to come yesterday. Now it's not gonna come for 4 more days. It is what it is. So you guys can't tell this, obviously. This is Remi. You guys can't tell because I've cut it out of the video, but I had to get up and get the door because Remi had escaped my husband. So I have 3 dogs, if you guys haven't watched me before, and the other 2, Bailey's 15 and deaf, and he's fine, he doesn't care. Harper, who's also blind, has 1 eye, is very attached to me, but as long as he's got a lap and he's comfortable, he's usually pretty good. And Remi, come here, Remi, come here. It's okay. Yes, Remi. Okay, we're fine. Remi is very sweet, but a little spastic. He's also blind, and he literally just like scratched at my door. I don't know if he thinks I have food. I don't know what's happening, but he's gonna sit with me for the rest of this, right, Rem? Okay? You okay? Okay, so you'll have a little fuzzy head right there. So we'll have a little fuzzy head possibly pop up, but that's, that's fine. Okay, so we're gonna use the Naked Rose OpuLUST gloss because, like I said, I don't have my palette. There we go. It's a little too pink for this particular look, to be frank, to be honest. This has more of a gold. It would be better, I think, with like a peach or something. But I want my Rose Decadence order, and so I'm gonna use this one. No, I love this gloss. I actually love the OpuLUST glosses. I think they're really pretty. I mean, they're definitely, like, they're shiny. They're not like kind of an everyday kind of, well, maybe you like that. I mean, for me, it's probably a little much for like The Office, but I still really like the way they look. I think they look shiny and beautiful, and this is actually a really pretty shade. The Naked Rose, it's like a perfect rose. Like, it's not too pinky, because you know me, I don't like my pinks. So anyway. So that is the Grand Bal, ladies and gentlemen. I only have 1 left from the original 6 that I ordered, which is Black Bow, which is coming. And so there you go. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this series that I have now created. And let me know, what kind of products that you're interested in. Like I said, I'm basically going on a very low buy, if not a no buy, for September. So I picked up a lot of things in July, so I don't really need to... I never need to buy makeup again. But I do really want to make my channel more than just about new reviews. I want to do tutorials of things that I already have. So I have so many different products. Let me know the things that you're interested in me doing. I do have the foundation compendium coming up. I am gonna do a ranking of my Tom Ford quads. That's just gonna take a little bit of time to put together. There are some other things that I also have planned, but I'd love to hear from all of you about what you're interested in. And it's not like I won't be picking new things up. I just feel like the September-October timeframe, although there's a lot of pretty things that come out, I really am interested in waiting for like another very large haul for the holiday collection, because starting in October, you get just all the holiday collections, the advent calendars, you know, it just gets insane. So for me, I think it's important to, like, you know, like all of us, to budget, to be reasonable, and not just go and buy everything. One, because I don't think it's a healthy habit, and two, because this stuff does go bad. It's wasteful to have so much makeup that even you can't use it or give it to people and rehome it to someone. And in these days of, unfortunately, of COVID, you can't, it's much harder to give folks stuff that you're not using. So a lot of this goes to waste, and I really don't want that to happen. So, but yeah, so let me know in your comments, first of all, what you think of the Grand Bal. I'd love to hear your thoughts about which one's your favorite so far, and what kind of products, what kind of reviews, what kind of tutorials, all that good stuff you'd like to see in the future. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate it. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. And so will Remi. Say Remi, say bye. Say bye, my adoring public. You don't even know where the camera is, do you? Oh, deal. Okay, he can't see. Thanks so much, guys. Oh, bye.